Here's what's happening right now. After a whirlwind day, new President Donald Trump and the First Lady have started celebrating. Good evening. I'm Justin Koller.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. Thanks for joining us. You are taking a live look at the inaugural ball in Washington, D.C. The new first couple just left that party to head to another one. It is one of 3 official inaugural balls going on tonight. There are plenty of other unofficial parties happening, though, including one by Planned Parenthood and another going on at the National Portrait Gallery. Earlier today, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. Chief Justice John Roberts administered the oath of office at the Capitol. Trump using 2 Bibles, one a family Bible and the other used by President Abraham Lincoln for his inauguration. He also addressed the country as president for the first time today.
So to all Americans in every city near and far, small and large, from mountain to mountain, from ocean to ocean, hear these words. You will never be ignored again.
After taking the oath of office, President Trump thanked former President Obama and the former First Lady, calling them magnificent.
Like the election that led today's inauguration, it has been a day met with tension, frustration, and celebration. A range of emotions spilled into the streets of our nation's capital. Protesters clashed with Trump supporters and at times even police. Jay Gray was in the middle of it all and brings us the story.
Step back. Step back.
The peaceful transfer of power was not always so peaceful. Pockets of protesters gathered across the city, at times turning violent, starting fires and shattering windows, throwing rocks and other objects at police in full riot gear, backed by the National Guard as they moved in. At times, using tear gas and pepper spray to try and disperse the crowds. Closer to the Capitol, a group locked arms trying to block access to the inauguration. Other protesters shut down highways and streets. At one point, this Trump supporter stopped his car in the middle of a crowd.
It's fine to disagree with policies and issues, but doing it in this fashion on this day is completely un-American and crybaby.
Thousands marched across the city, coming from all directions, carrying different signs, supporting different causes, but all with one clear message.
To really start from day one holding Donald Trump accountable to be the president of all Americans.
Crowds gathered in cities across the country, including New York, San Francisco, Denver, and Houston, and this banner was unfurled on a bridge in London. But D.C. was a flashpoint.
This is the moment, this is the now, and I just feel privileged to be living in this time.
An historic moment celebrated and questioned by hundreds of thousands in our nation's capital. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
Since his swearing in, President Trump has already signed his first executive order. It requires officials to ease the burden of the Affordable Care Act. Also tonight, Defense Secretary retired General James Mattis and Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly were sworn into their jobs as part of the new president's new cabinet.
Attend the event.
Right now, hundreds of Missourians are headed to the Women's March on Washington and D.C. 11 buses are leaving from Columbia while others are flying or carpooling. The Women's March is in support of uniting marginalized groups across the nation. KMU 8's Madeline McLean talked to Missourians looking to send a message to Washington.
The Women's March on Washington will take over the nation's capital. The march's website is expecting 200,000 people. The city is preparing for 500,000. And mid-Missouri women left by buses, train, and car to join the walk. The march is a visual message of support and solidarity. They say a first step towards change.
At least in my part, I had made the assumption that other people were doing that other people were handling things that were very important to me. Yeah. And I was wrong. And so now I'm going to try to do something about it and take action.
They say they already know what you're thinking, and you're wrong. In fact, they had some of the same misconceptions.
I thought it was
spot as Trump's inauguration, Saturday afternoon. Madeline McLean, KMU 8 News, Jefferson City.
2 million people have registered to join that march in more than 600 sister cities. Columbia is one of those cities. The march in D.C. starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Mid-Missouri's Solidarity March begins in the afternoon.
Passive week for us weather-wise with those warmer temperatures as well.
Get out and enjoy the weekend.
Especially tomorrow.
It was very nice today. The sun kind of came out.
Yeah, just at the end.
No clouds.
Yeah, plenty of sunshine tomorrow.
As of right now, Columbia does not have a program to monitor opioids.
But another city might be the solution.
Business Loop 70 is getting an upgrade. KMU 8's Desiree Evans has more on what that transformation will look like.
Gary Ennis's business has been on Business Loop for more than 30 years, and he's made several observations. The first,
well, I've noticed we haven't had anything happen over here.
the second,
A lot of areas in Columbia that have had money put into them for roads and beautification and stuff like parkways and different things, and the Business Loop has sort of been neglected.
and the last.
I can't think of an improvement along the Business Loop that, we've had in the years we've been over here. We've been here since 1984.
But the city of Columbia is finally putting plans into action to improve the area where Ennis works.
The plan to beautify Business Loop goes beyond just helping small businesses. It's meant to increase foot traffic in the area, and the beautification process will go for a large majority of the street.
So what we're hearing from people is they really want it to be more attractive.
Some things the residents think would make the area more attractive.
They want landscaping, they want beautification. They would also like it to be more walkable. It's 5 lanes, there are very few crosswalks, there are a few sidewalks. So it's very hard for someone on foot or someone on a bike to really travel down the street.
The project is supposed to take anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Even though it's not an overnight project, Ennis says he's grateful for the coming improvements.
Anytime I think you can clean up an area and, get rid of what blight you have in that area, it's going to improve the looks of that section.
Desiree Evans, KMU 8 News, Columbia.
The beautification process is set to begin in May. Stay with us. We've got basketball, gymnastics, and some wrestling in Mizzou sports coming up next.
38 degrees. It looks like we'll return to that by the end of next week, but overall another nice week for us here in Missouri.
I am so excited.
No
for
ice
tomorrow.
storms, right?
No ice storms in the
Okay,
foreseeable
good.
future.
I
Yes,
plan to get
yes.
out on the trail. It's going to
Yes,
be beautiful.
tomorrow will be the day to do that.
Enjoy it. Have a great week.
On air, online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the news app, and the weather app. KOMU 8 News. Coverage you can count on.